Hey there, my friends. This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. It's another beautiful morning here, and welcome to all of you guys who are tuning in from around the world, whether it is morning, afternoon, or nighttime. We know that we have people from all over the world who are regular viewers, and welcome if you're brand new. If you're somebody who's just coming into our community and you're brand new and you have no idea, really who we are, or aren't even sure how you got here, I just want to tell you welcome, and put your seatbelt on and get ready for the ride of your life, because you're in store both for a special treat today from my guest, Ivan, but also from our community, from our company, and every person here who really wants to see you win and who really wants to support you every step of the way in your journey. So with that being said, I want to bring in and welcome, and please in the comments, help me welcome to the Wake Up Show, Ivan. Can you hear me, my friend?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Well, you too, and you got a cool microphone. It makes us feel like we're radio show host here, doesn't it?
That's right. That's right. Continuity, right?
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
So we are blessed to have you, my friend, as an advisor here, which is a special and important role because, they come in. I wish I could talk to every client. I can't. It would be unrealistic, and I would be divorced and kicked out of my house very quickly, because I'd never be available for anything other than talking to clients. But we have this unique and I call it an important role because, I think about somebody's initial experience in the beginning of their journey, their career, if you will. Wow, isn't that cool that we get to call the thing here that we do most often from home a career? But those initial conversations, Ivan, that initial interaction that somebody has, and when they come into a training course or a program, and I feel like it's just such an important time, and you are one of those people who serves as both a guide, an advocate for them, somebody to help them to make to both go through this challenge in the most productive way, but also even help them to make decisions about their business plan and how they're going to implement the training, and if they're serious, if they want to learn more in more powerful ways and get more support. You get to be a part of that process. That's why I call this an important role that you fill here. But before we talk about that, I'd like you, and many of you guys, if you know Ivan, if you have the chance to have him as an advisor, then I'd say you're blessed. And you may even be commenting right now. I can't see all the comments, but that and you're familiar with Ivan here. But take us back, brother, and tell us a little bit about how you got started in digital marketing in the first place.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. First of all, I want to start that and tell you that I feel blessed, and it doesn't really feel like work to me. I truly enjoy working with people and, helping them. And I didn't really, I said it, but before I actually started doing it, I was saying it, but when I started actually doing it, I meant it. Does that make sense?
Sure. Totally.
My experience with digital marketing goes back quite a few years. I had a tangible goods business that I was running. I started from nothing and grew it to over $1.5 million. And it was back when ClickFunnels was first kind of entering the scene, and folks didn't really even know what Facebook advertising was about, myself included. I spent a significant amount of money finding out. Facebook was glad to take that money. When the business was predicated on local incentives, and when that business basically went under, so as fast as I grew, my ego grew as well, right? And I was tuned out to a lot. So a lot of people were telling me, hey, you got to make changes, right? I mean, I tell this story all the time. I spent $5,000 on direct mail pieces. Okay. And I had an intern, a part-time, which we paid, a paid intern, made a mistake on the printing, and we got them in our office. There were 5,000 copies of this giant full page that was going to car dealerships that had all kinds of errors in it. And we literally had to throw them in the garbage, you know,
Ah,
when you think about those mistakes, you know. But I think my experience was born out of pain. Like I think most folks grow based upon pain, right?
sure.
And when that business went under, I did a lot of soul searching. You know, the wind was out of my sails, so to speak. But I knew that I had to become more educated, you know, in digital marketing. So I just, like everybody else, I dove into it. Watched a million hours of YouTube. Right.
Mm,
That's what I did. I had a good friend of mine that I became friendly with. This guy that started an agency, standard agency, and he was really focusing on logo development. So he kind of took me under his wing. I started essentially learning the business from him, and started setting up campaigns, email campaigns, started getting into it, you know, in that nature. But he was training me, and I ultimately became a salesman for him,
mm,
you know, part-time salesman, and just kind of learning the industry. So.
sure. So, fast forward, I guess, some time, and you have gone through our training. You went through our 15-day challenge and became a student, and ultimately have now decided that you wanted to, you know. And I love this. I say evangelist. I mean, doesn't mean that we're out, trying to convert people by knocking on doors and asking them if they've heard the good news. It's more just, you know, it's more just you're excited, I would assume, to now come back and help people to go through that same process to learn the ins and outs of the education industry and ultimately how that works online by the four different business models, which is affiliate marketing, digital courses, coaching, and masterminds. Most people start, and ultimately many stay with affiliate marketing. But we're thrilled to have you, particularly because of all your experience, but also because you've been through our training and that's where you started. What attracted you to wanting to, jump in more and actually both fill the role of an entrepreneur, which you clearly are, but then also to be an advisor here on our team?
Well, you know, full disclosure, I have passive income coming in, right? So I think, I made a decision. So I'm 45, right? You know, I made a decision. The next thing I get into, Dave, it's going to be based on on what I really want in life, right? There's a saying: you have two lives, right? The second one starts when you realize you don't live forever. Okay, and and that's Confucius, I think, right? But I had this, like, I want to call it a spiritual experience almost, but it was like profound. I was listening to a member of our community. Okay, I can mention his name if you want me to, and
Sure.
Brian Brewer,
Yeah.
and actually did. I had some private conversations with him, and he was just I think starting to kind of promote Legendary,
Mm,
and I was very standoffish because I had pretty significant experience with getting burned, right? And I think a lot of folks
sure.
had that happen, buying courses, who do you listen to, type of thing, right? I was really standoff ish, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try the challenge,
Oh,
and my world changed. I'm like, this is something special. Now, I've been in business and I've been pitched by thousands of people over 20 years, and it's something I just said, this is different. This is actually different. Not just, they're not just saying it, it is different. And Brian Brewer, because he's methodical, follows up with you, via email. And I just kind of got immersed,
mm,
into Legendary. I started watching the Wake Up Legendary show. Now I'm on it. That's interesting, right? But
yeah.
religiously, I just started getting immersed in the community on Facebook, and these guys are for real. They know what the hell they're doing. I just started consuming like crazy. I'd walk my dog at night and listen to the replays. There were some episodes of Wake Up Legendary I listened to 5 and 6 times over
Wow.
and over, just to internalize this information, because it's gold. It's a
Yeah.
free resource, that we have. So I was compelled, let's put it that way. And I knew I could afford to do it, because I have passive income coming in. I could afford to take some of my time and, work with entrepreneurs, which I really love. So,
Yeah. It's That's great. I feel humbled and grateful to be in a position to to be facilitating a lot of this, and just so grateful that that it is able to attract people like yourself, who whether you're somebody who has, everybody who comes here, is not broke and living out of the trunk of their car. I mean, some of you guys are, and quite frankly, if that's your position, just kind of hang tight and learn all you can and apply what we try to give the marketplace for free. But a lot of people who, like yourself, have some resources, some resourcefulness, and are really looking. Nobody, I don't think, Ivan, wakes up and says, let me go figure out somebody to listen to waste my time. They're looking for something. If they're gonna go online and take a course or something, they want to actually learn and then get whatever result they're trying to get. And I think the reason why so many people feel burned in this industry in particular is because, this industry allows for anybody to be anything they want. The internet, it's sort of an unregulated place. So there's a lot of people who take advantage of that, and they really shouldn't be selling courses. They really shouldn't be selling anything, honestly. And I think people come here after oftentimes going through the guru gauntlet, as I like to call it, and they land here and they've got a few black eyes, and they're sort of skeptical. They're like, is this more of the same? And so what would you say? You've said quite a bit, but what would you say to somebody who's sort of starting at that beginning? Now, many people who listen to this are going to be blessed enough to be able to work with you, and I think they're going to be incredibly lucky to work with somebody as gracious and knowledgeable, who's also been through the experience. And you'll be able to tell those people one on one. But what would you tell to all the people who may not particularly be able to hear from you in a sort of a one-on-one format? What would you tell those people who are maybe skeptical, who do have a few bruises, but they still have that hope and they still want it?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Dave. The thing that I think may be most impactful is remaining in a state, having an open mind, right? And that's it can be called contempt prior to investigation. I'm sure you've heard that term, right? And that's a term that really sums it up very well, because if you think about it, before you actually investigate the thing, you have these preconceived notions, and that's based upon your frames of reference. And your frames of reference are pain, and being exposed to scam. I think that's damaging. Yeah, and it's harder. It's almost easier to get somebody to be involved and to have an open mind if they haven't had these life experiences, right? So I definitely think having an open mind, that's step one, because you have to have an open mind, or nothing's going to penetrate, right? Being teachable, right? So, and the other thing is, you like to say, eating your own dog food, right? Pay attention to what people are doing, not what they're saying. Okay. This commitment's a great example. I mean, this to me, the Wake Up Legendary show shows a commitment. Here's a company, here's you get the same 24 hours everybody else does. Here you are, Dave Sharpe, on your, 4 days a week, right? For how many years now has the show been going on? You don't have to do this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the company. I mean, since we launched,
Yeah.
we've been doing this every single morning, and I'm blessed enough to have another incredible marketer and leader and communicator in Matt Hetzel, our chief marketing officer, who covers a day or so every once in a while. But yeah, my hope is, and hearing your story sort of reaffirms that by me getting out here and creating content and creating goodwill in the marketplace, it is going to both boost confidence in people and also sort of set an example, because I've always prided myself personally on being somebody who's in the trenches, who's not just teaching marketing. I don't just get rich teaching marketing, but I've been marketing. I've been doing all the things that we teach here at Legendary. And I do think that's an important piece, and and I want to reiterate it sort of in my own words, is, if you have been taken, scammed, beat up, or skeptical, watch what we do. Just watch. You will be able to see, and you can go and look in the archives. You can go to our Facebook page and scroll through and see. It's not just we started this week. You can see the miles and miles of road that we've traveled right up until this day of this interview with you, with Ivan, to see that, and we'll be continuing to do it. And that's, I think, one of the interesting things as well, Ivan, is that people also will oftentimes come, and then, it's easy to get sucked into that email that you get from Gary Guru or whoever that says, look, 24 hours, you can start making thousands of dollars with no work. It's easy to get sucked into that fantasy. And then people realize that it's not what it was made out to be. And then they eventually come back here, and oftentimes they're more willing to develop and learn those skills. We wish that didn't have to be the case, but even I can be a little hard-headed sometimes. You know what I mean? I can say, I know there's got to be an easier, softer way. And then, it's like back to doing it the right way, learning the skills, applying. But the beautiful thing is like interest on an investment. And it took me a while to understand how compound interest worked. But the same thing happens with success, is success picks up momentum and begins to compound to a point to where you then eventually either can't turn it off, or you look back and say, I can't believe what I've accomplished. So anyways, my man, I'm thrilled to have you here. Any final words that you would like to leave the listeners who are here from all different, maybe the person who's walking around listening to the Wake Up Show just like you did, who hasn't pulled the trigger, maybe a few words to them before we wrap up.
Yeah. I don't have anything profound, but I will pose this question. There are 3 birds sitting on a wire. 2 decided to jump. How many are left? They're all still on the wire because they just decided, and I want I want people to think about that, because just deciding you're going to do something without taking action, you're not going to have any result. Okay. So just don't decide to do something, make a plan, have achievable goals, keep achieving those goals. You feel good about yourself. And I have turned my mess into a message. Okay. And if I can do it, I'm sure that anyone can do it. If they have it up here, if they can conceive it and they can believe it, as corny as it sounds, they can achieve it. And that's something that I've seen in my own life. I've envisioned things in my mind, and then they've materialized in the real world, and that's something that didn't happen because I decided to do it. It's something that happened because I actually did it.
Yeah. Very cool, man. I think that was pretty profound and a great place to leave it. My man, I'm going to let you get back to your day, whether that's, working with our clients, or whether that's taking some time off to hang with your family. And I'm going to go do the same, and we'll have you back to continue to update us with progress in your life and business and wisdom from your journey. And thank you for locking arms and being a part of our community and our company here. And I hope to change many lives for many years to come.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, buddy. See you, man. Thank you. All right, my friends. If you have the pleasure to work with Ivan, I think that you are blessed and lucky. And if you don't, maybe you're working with another advisor, know that we try to only partner with the best people who have experienced likely what you're experiencing as an actual client, gone through the same training, and who can help guide you in a way that's going to empower you and help you to be more successful by taking what you've learned and learning how to earn with that knowledge. Knowledge is powerful and it's also profitable. And so that's our goal, is to educate you in the most powerful and simplest and clearest way possible. And of course, put all of the people and pieces in place along the way to support you in your journey. And Ivan's a big part of that. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Drop a comment if you enjoyed this, if you enjoy getting to know some of the people behind the scenes that make this thing work, to make Legendary what it is. And we'll be back tomorrow. I forget what day it is, but we'll be back as we always are, 5 days a week. And who knows, maybe you'll hear from another one of our advisors, or maybe you'll hear from one of our students here. Either way, it's always fun. It's always a surprise. We'll meet you back here. Be legendary, be well, stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.